Hello, friends. Good evening, and welcome to another session with me, Varun, on Travatic. And this is the second session. And in this session, we would be talking about very basic, the most basic mathematical operations. And we would also be talking about how to assign values to variables. And we would be looking at how to assign multiple vectors to one variable. And we would see how to use, usage of numbers in keyboard using scan function, and then we would be seeing how to use a repeat function for a set of numbers, which is a series of numbers, for a set of alphabets, for a set of elements which are to be repeated, and we'll see how to generate a label, and we'll see how to repeat a pattern of numbers. Okay, so we'll see all these, and after that we'll move on to the next topic, which is wherein we would be looking at some functions of R, which are like minimum, maximum, mean, subscripts, subsets. We would also be looking at how to access independent variables using subscripts and subsets, how to drop a number, how to use logical variables with subscripts, how to implement data frame, okay, how to apply them to a set of a value. Then we'll see how to find out elements which are not a multiple of another number, how to create subscripts with arrays, and how to kind of access rows and columns, and how to create a list and how to access elements in a list. And we would also be seeing how to read data from your external file, and how to read space for a delimited file. So this would be the agenda for today's session. So without wasting time, let's quickly go back to the first file and let us start observing things. Now, guys, when I'm doing this, I would request you to lay your attention on the console and into the environment. As long as I do not pass this into a variable, you would be having nothing in your environment, and your environment here would be absolutely empty. So now let us just check. So now I hit an enter. That is, what am I doing here? 7 into 0.8 raised to the power of 2 by 3. And this is the value. You can try some things by manual testing, and you'll see that the values are extremely satisfying. And if you're able to notice, I do not have anything saved in my environment. Now, if, for example, I pass the same thing onto G and then I hit an enter, things would now be different. The answer is still the same. See, it's 3.153494, but I have the value here in global environment now. Why? Because it is assigned to a value. Then the next thing I have here is log of 100. I would just want to check the logarithmic value of 100, and when I do it, I have it here. That's 4.6. We can also check the same for different sources of values. For example, now I would want to check the log of 50, and if I would want to do that, it's as simple as this, and you hit an enter. And when you hit an enter, you can see that my log of 50 is 3.91. We generally assume that the log of 50 is half of log of 100, but it's not like that. Then I'm using my third value, which is 3 raised to the power of minus 10. And here I have my value. That's 1.69 exponential, whatever. All right. And whenever you want to give something raised to the power of, this, the symbol that we use. All right, the upper cap symbol, and this is 3 to the power of minus 10. That is how it goes. Now, this one thing that we need to know, guys, that is whenever we are assigning a value to a variable, then we don't actually have to assign it when the direction is only in one side. You can do it either which ways. So here I am saving my 12.6 into x, and now when I checked for the value of x and I hit an enter, I would be having a value of 12.6. You can see the same here also. But now when I do this, it will now overwrite it with 11. And now when I check my x value, it would give me 11. So in order to do that, what we'll do is let us just execute this once again. Now the value is 12.6, and I'll save this into x1, and now I'll hit an enter, and now you can see that x and x1 are both saved. So here the basic takeaway is you cannot save more than two elements with the same, more than one element with the same name. In that case, what would happen? You would be having a clash of the values that are assigned to your variables, and we don't want that. Like it's like when you call one person in a class, we would only want one answer. We don't want five people to answer on the same roll number, correct? Now, if you do that, then there is some problem. So, in order to avoid that, what we would be doing here is we would be generally assigning one variable to one value, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. And this is how we assign multiple values. You can use the C, which is combine or club. And when you use C, it will club all these values into Y. So now I am using, I want 3 and 7 and 9 to be passed into Y. And when I hit an enter, you can see that it has a set of three numbers, which is 3, 7, and 9. So this is how you should be understanding this part. All right, now, and this is the same for n numbers. It's not that I'm just using this for three or four or five numbers. You can just save as many numbers as you want. And here you would see that I've saved six numbers, and these are the different numbers in it. Now let us go ahead and use the next function, which is a scan. All right, now I'm assigning the value of, I'm assigning this function of scan a value of A, and here I have it. So now I'm assigning different values like 23, 56, 89, probably 1, and 09, 74. I'm just taking random numbers, guys. 100. And when I want to get out of the loop, I hit a double enter. And here you can see that it has taken seven items. It is the value is A, and here it is 23, 56, 89. And let us say you want to see A, you can just hit A and you can hit enter, and you can see all the values which I have saved or all the values which I have entered are now recorded here into A. You can try these with the video on pause, and you can try them parallelly. And trust me, you should be having great fun when you're trying to practice these. The next one that I have is repeat. Now here it's very simple. The keyword for repeat is REP, rep, and you are supposed to mention or use them within double quotes. All right. And here I kind of, I am in love with my name. I love my name. So I would want to see my name getting printed for 10 times. So here I'm just using the repeat function, and I'm saying Varun should be printed for 10 times. And here you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have my name printed 10 times. So this is done. And please remember, we would not be using square brackets here. And let us try using square brackets so that you understand what error or what is the output difference that we might have. And now when I hit enter on this, you would see that it says that it's not subsettable. So you cannot take subsets if you do like this. So basically it means that we would be using square brackets for an array. We would not be using them for things as such. Then the next one that I would want to repeat is I would want to repeat a set of six numbers, that is 1, 2, 6 for two times. Now here whenever you have this is to symbol, that is 1 is to 6, or the ratio symbol, it can also mean a range. So here you can also infer this to be a range of six numbers from 1 to 6. So now let me just enter this. All right. And when I enter this, I would be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the first time. And you can see that the same is repeated for the second time. Now, here what we're doing is I would want to repeat a series of numbers, that is 1 to 6, each of them repeated three times for all the six numbers. Let me repeat that once again. I'm sure it's a bit of a problem to understand this in take one. So here I'm repeating a series of numbers that is from 1 to 6, and each number is repeated for 3 times for all the 6 numbers. That is what it means. And you can see I have 1, 2, 3 for 3 times. Sorry, I have 1 for 3 times, 2 is for 3 times. The same is with 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is how it goes. All right. Now, if you think of changing the number to 7, then you would be having an error, because how would it repeat 1 to 6 numbers for 3 times each for 7 values when you have 6 values here? That is just not possible. Now let us try changing numbers here. For example, now I would be changing this to 4, and you can see that each number is repeated 4 times. So this is for 4 times, this is for 4 times. And now if I try to change this, that I would want 1 to 7 numbers repeated for 4 times each for 6 numbers, then even then it's going wrong. So basically your number value range and the number that you enter here should make sense, and they should be mathematically correct. Okay, failing to which you would be having wrong answers, or you would be having error messages like these. All right, then I'm going to the next step, that is how to generate a label. And in generate a label, it's very simple. It's basically 5 numbers that are being repeated for 3 times each. So here, generate label and repeat, they kind of do the same function. Now let us look at a broader perspective of generate label. So here I'm using GL for 5, 2, and 30. So let us see what it does. So here you can see that I would be having my numbers from 1 to 5, each repeated for 2 times each for a value of 30. So you can see that the total count would be for 30 numbers. But each of them is repeated only 2 times in a set. And the value range is only from 1 to 5. You can see the levels that are available here, and these levels are generated because we entered a 5 here. Now for example, if I enter a 6 here and I do a control enter, you would see that I would be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the difference that I would be having when I work on generating label for 5 comma 3, and if it is 5 comma 3 comma 30. This is how the difference works. Now let us move on to the next one, that is the basics part 2. All right, and in this we will be looking at some extended functions. So now let us go on to discuss the extended functions. So here I am taking a set of 3 numbers, that is 1, minus 1, 2, and 3, and I'm storing them in X. All right. So here you can see I have minus 1, 2, and 3. Now, when I click on the minimum value, it will give me 1. So now let us say I am entering minus 1, comma, minus 1, minus 4, 2, and 3. And now I save this. And now I hit on minimum value of X, then you would now be having minus 4, because for all obvious reasons, minus 4 is the least value. Then I want to check the maximum value, for which I will be hitting max. And here, as you can see, amongst minus 1, minus 4, 2, and 3, 3 has the largest value. Then I am checking the same for the mean. I would want you to please check this out, the mean of all these numbers. So it would be 1 plus minus 1 plus minus 4 plus 2 plus 3. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. So plus 5 and minus 5 is coming on to 0. Then I would be doing my x plus x to see how things get added. And I don't think this needs any explanation. Minus 1 is minus 2, is minus 8, 2 plus 2 is 4, and 3 plus 3 is 6. So now what I'm doing is, we are now moving one step ahead, and here I'm taking something called as a subscript. Okay, and within this, I'm passing all my values of numbers from 1 to 9 into a variable y. Okay, so here I am into a variable y, and when I hit y of 3, it gives me 3. So here I am using the index function basically. So what is, so here if you can see, we are now using square brackets. So square brackets are used to access things or index within a set of numbers. So this is, so here I'm taking a variable y which has a set of numbers, and here if I want to access the third element, then I would be saying y of 3, and it would give me that y of 3 is 3. And now if I say y of 3 to 7, then it would give me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now let us say, so here 3 to 7 is a range of numbers. So 3 is to 7 would work. But now, how would you handle the situation if I say that I would want a set of random numbers? Or, now when I say random, I don't want these random numbers to be automatically generated, but then I will tell you like 3, 5, and 7. Now, when they're not in a range, you can use the very first function that we were discussing, that is C of 3, 5, 7, and they are all enclosed within the subset of y. Because y has all my values, I would combine the values of 3, 5, and 7 here to have an output. So now I do this and I have 3, 5, and 7. And if I want to drop the first element, then I don't have to explicitly go ahead and use words like remove or drop and make that array feel bad. I mean, you don't have to do anything like that. The one and very simple thing that can be done is you can use a -1. And when you do this, you see that I don't have my 1 anymore. My 1 is removed and I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I hope you're understanding. Now, let us say you want to use subscripts with logical variables. That is also pretty easy. And how would you do that? You would just say, I want all the variables of y which are greater than 6, and you would enclose it within the y. Because you want all the elements which are greater than y, sorry, which are greater than 6 in y from the variable y. So that is the reason why I'm having to give this name 2 times. Now when I enter this, you can see what is it. It is 7, 8, and 9. So I have all my values here. The next thing I'm taking is a data frame. Now, whenever you are, or whenever anyone is working on a data frame, basically, this is how we mention a data frame. Now, before we go any further, let us understand what a data frame is in the first place. So here I have data entry, data class. I would be selecting data frame because that's what we want to see about. And here you have description about it. And see, it creates data frames tightly coupled. So what is it? It's a tightly coupled collection of variables which share many of the properties of matrices and lists. It is used as a fundamental data structure by most of modeling software. Okay, and here these are the different properties you have within your data frame. You can use any of them. All right. And here you have, see, a data frame is a list of variables of the same numbers or rows with unique row names. And you have data frames description. If no variable is included, the row name determine the number of the row. So I hope this is understood. See, if no name is existing, then the row name determines the number of the row. This is how it works. All right, so a data frame is very, very, very essential for us to work with a lot of things. All right, so now what I'm doing, I am considering a small variable called a letter within my data frame, into which I'm taking letters. Now what would happen when you take letters, guys? Let us just see. And now I hit and enter. So I would be having all my alphabets from A to Z, or A to Z as we call it. Okay, so Again, now if I take things with small casing and hit letters, oops, and when I hit letters, you can see I have all my letters in smalls. All right. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking my data frame of values, letters from 8 to 12 and Y with a value of 1 to 5. And now let me just pass my A and check. So here, what is Y, guys? Y is, Y can be considered to be another column with my index, or you can consider it whatever you want. Okay, and here you have letters that is 8 to 12. So 8th alphabet is my H, I, J, K, L, and I have my Y, which is 1 to 5. Then I have my A, which is greater than 3. So now here I'm applying this to a set, and let us see what would happen. So now whenever I say A should have values which are greater than 3, it is only showing me two values, which is 4 and 5. I don't think I have any values which are greater than 3. Why? Because in Y, I have only passed values from 1 to 5 and nothing beyond that. And now within 1 to 5, I want to check all the elements which are not multiples of 3. Okay, and here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is neither giving me 3 nor is it giving me 9. So it does not give me any of those values which are present between them. All right. And what do I have next? Well, here you can select the third row, the second and third columns. Okay, this is what I'm doing here. And okay, 1 second, let us just undefined column selected. So I think we just ought to remove this. And now I think things should be fine. All right, let me just put this on hold. Well, I think there is some problem with this. I'll just talk to you about it in the upcoming session. Well, okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm creating another list, and whenever you want to create a list, you use list. Okay. And here you can see that where is it? So where did I save this? I have saved all this into cars. So basically I'm giving two numbers. Okay, that is Toyota. Okay, let us just execute cars so that we see. So here I have three things. That is the name of my vehicle, that is Toyota, Nissan, and Honda. Probably their CC and their color, and it is all saved into cars. Now I have given three names of vehicles, three CCs, but I've given four colors. So now let us see what would happen. Now when I hit my cars of one, it is giving me all the names. So here this becomes the first element. Okay, what is it? The names of my three cars. The second element is their CCs. The third element would be their colors. So this is how we identify things from a list. All right. And then this is my, you can use get WD. This would give you your working directory. So I have all the things coming from users documents. And whenever you want to change it, this is how you can go ahead and change it. But we don't want to do that right now. Okay. And let us say if you want to read a table, you would be using read.table with the name of the file, and this would be a true if you want to read a delimited file. Otherwise you don't have to put it. Okay, so guys, I hope you have understood how to work on some basic elements and how to work on some basic mathematical operations. Should you have any queries, please feel free to refer to us, or please feel free to write to write us down on the email ID that you know, and we shall revert back to you at the earliest. And we would either write down to you, or either we would give you a call and get it resolved. Thanks a lot for being there. I would see you in session 3 with some more basics on R and some more new topics to talk about. Have a great day. This is me, Varun from Pravatech, logging out.